grandma into dollar yen? I mean, like seriously,
Yeah, that's a bit mean, isn't it?
it's a carry. Well, no, it's a carry trade to the long side, but not to the short side. You're going to make
Yeah.
her pay carry also. You can't do that. You can't do that to grandma. You can't make. You
Look,
can't
she
make
might
her.
not like me after it, or she might love me. Who knows?
All right, so I think it's time for our first challenge, and I'm calling it the grandma challenge because really the first challenge to both of you gentlemen is for you to place a trade on the behalf of your parents or grandparents, which is a really I think a tough challenge because we can take risk for ourselves, we certainly can take risk for others, but it's really hard to take risk for immediate family members. So I wonder, like, and I'll start with Braden first. What given the turmoil in the markets, given the fact that the world seems everybody's convinced that the world is on the verge of catastrophe, which will be interesting. I'm interested to see your opinions on it. What would you do now? Like, where would you put money for your grandma into?
For me, if I was a grandma, I'd be a bit more conservative. I would like to get into some, obviously you get into a few different shares, but right now, the way we are, I mean, the way I trade is primarily off momentum, and that's at the moment it's straight down on the ASX. So to me, there's no real need to be diving into anything on the share side at the moment until it starts playing out. So probably what I do, I mean, I like the yen. I've just been watching the US yen at the moment, and that's a big one. That I mean, there's a lot of people following it, which looks like I'll just get that up actually. That's on the daily chart. You can see on the screen here, and
Yes.
we're all talking about what is it, BOJ intervention and things. I mean, that to me, if everyone's watching it for the downside, and I'm always looking at how many people are lined up on one direction, and everyone at the moment is lined up long. I mean, it's been long for a while, been squeezing the shorts on the yen, which is pushing up, and with the US dollar, continuing to sort of press into highs. That is, to me, is extended, but I'm not going to be diving into that anytime soon until I get some sort of setup that I'm looking for. But that'd be something that if it does unwind, it could really unwind to the downside.
What would be? How would you? What's what would be the telltale sign that it's unwinding for you?
For me, I look at things, we call them anchors, and that's just your trend following. You've got your higher lows on the way up and your lower highs on the way down. But what I'd want to see off this kind of level, if it's going to pause on this level, we've got 135.20, for instance, I'd be looking for something that's, just change the color, make it a bit prettier. When you get a bit of a flush down, I mean, that doesn't mean to me that it's time to sell. You want to get those fails at that high. So I'm looking ideally for something like that because you want to see that buyers are still in play. Buyers are in play. It starts to push down. They're still in play until they fail at a lower level. And that to me is a bit of a heads up where if you are long, this could
really
be something that's rolling over.
Right. That's really, really interesting. So it's not necessarily the down move, it's the fail that gives you the confidence. What you want to see is you want to, and would you consider, I think, I've seen so many times, I wonder if Peter feels the same way. Failure to me, it doesn't necessarily mean that it fails underneath. It means that it doesn't really go significantly much beyond. I've seen it go, I can easily see this go 36, even 37, and then fail there. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's all in perspective to the different charts. I mean, if I'm going to look at the daily chart, that's where I'm aiming to base my trade off because there's going to be a lot of fat in it. I wouldn't be trading off that 1 day chart. I'll be looking down to maybe the hourly or the 30-minute for more of the entry. So I would be honing that. Once I see that daily start to play out, if I start to see it pop back up here and it's starting to look a bit heavy on the daily, I'll be looking down to the 30-minute. I might have to try a couple of times. You might short it. You might go in small size to start with, get on the right side. As long as that momentum is down, I'm not trading against the flow. The flow starts to push up. I don't want to be trading against the flow. I want to be trading when it's starting to roll over, when it's heading down, and you can start to see those people, who are long unwind a bit because it's about, who's on the wrong side of the market. Is there enough of people on the wrong side of the market where there's a trade in it for me at the moment? I think there's a lot of people that will be on the wrong side of the market soon.
Right. It's interesting. So you're trading positioning as much as possible with price action to give you the clues. Super interesting. So you're gonna put your grandma into dollar yen? I mean, like seriously,
Yeah,
we gotta.
that's a bit mean, isn't it?
It's a carry. Well, no, it's a carry trade to the long side, but not to the short side. You're gonna make
Yeah.
her pay carry also. You can't do that. You can't do that to grandma. You can't make. You
Look,
can't
she
make
might
grandma.
not like me after it, or she might love me. Who knows?
You can't. You can't make grandma pay carry. It's not. It's just not done.
Oh, look, if we get hit enough on the indices, I'd probably start to look at some shares and keep away from the dollar yen.
Yeah, that's my own personal view. As I said, you buy like really quality stocks, for the long run right now.